This is a Campaign 92 special report. Connecticut threw a curve tonight at Bill Clinton and his drive to prove he's a sure thing for the Democratic presidential nomination. The polls are closed, but the race is too close to call at this time. Jerry Brown's protest message is coming on strong. President Bush won Connecticut's Republican primary, but nearly 40% voted against him. We'll be back when we have a Democratic winner. I'm Connie Chung, CBS News, New York.
This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened. When threatened danger becomes a reality, we can find ourselves facing a life-or-death decision for the first time. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of men and women put to the test on Rescue 911. We begin on September 3rd, 1991 in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, as real estate agent Lynn Feist was on her way to her last business appointment of the day.
Yes, I'd like to report a car, please. BZC7 Carolina, sticker on the back, red car. He flashed a badge at me as I'm driving past him as if he were a cop, and then he got right behind me and started following closely. And then I got behind, I picked up the car phone. He immediately started to take off. I'm following him right now.
Do you know where he is?
Yes,
When I first got the call, I thought this is an undercover officer or something like that. And he was trying to get her over for some type of violation that she had committed.
Pardon me?
He's in the 200 block of West Road.
Right here.
911 dispatcher Terry Russell checked to see who owned the car.
Yes,
I can run a license plate and get it back within a matter of seconds.
I don't like that he flashed a badge at me.
Okay, we'll see who he is. Hold on just a minute. You stay on the phone with me and keep following. Is it a Mustang, ma'am?
Yes, it is. It's a red Ford Mustang.
Okay, hold on just a minute. I know just about every law enforcement officer in Orange County, and he was not familiar to me at all. If this man is an imposter and he's trying to stop a female who's alone, he may be trying to sexually assault her, he may be trying to rob her, we just didn't know.
Terry passed along the information to the police dispatcher, Jeff McVeigh.
He's making a left on the camera. You heard me on that one. I had to do a sharp turn. He's taking off like a bat out of hell here.
Where is he now?
He's heading towards Cameron.
He's on camera now. Where?
Right, we're coming up to the light at Ransom. He's about to go through it here.
He just ran the red light at Ramsden and Cameron?
No, he's not running it. He's on the screen, but he's going right through it.
Car 10.
Dispatcher McVeigh notified units in the area.
Have a subject public.
There was serious danger for her. I got a general idea of where she was. I sent the officer to that area.
Where is he now?
He is turning right onto Pittsburgh, but he didn't signal. He obviously doesn't want me to know where he's going.
Right on Pittsburgh now, Jeff?
He knows I'm following him. He doesn't like it.
I did consider it to be a very scary situation for her. When you're sitting in that chair, it's like I can't get him there fast enough. I wish I could reach right through the phone and help her, but I can't.
Can you stay behind him?
I'm staying right with him. He's now he's now headed toward the hospital. He's taking me off the route here.
She knew where she was going. She knew the road she was turning on. That made my job that much easier.
She's coming up on the light.
My ideal call is this call.
And he's in the right-hand lane. He's going to have to go straight across to, down, what is it, Manning Drive.
Okay, but he's getting ready to go across?
Yeah, we're on a red light. We're at the stop intersection. He's first. He's on his way across. He's going down, and the car's going to cut me off here.
Are y'all moving, or are you still at the light?
No, we're moving.
All right, you passed?
We got another red light coming up here at the hospital intersection.
Okay.
He's making a right onto West Drive, which is the parking deck, and he's trying to...
Subject is turning off of Manning Drive onto West Drive now.
Parking deck.
Heading into the parking deck area.
Turning into the parking deck right now of the hospital. He's going into employee parking, permit parking, and I don't know if he can get in.
He's on West Drive, going into the parking deck.
Parking deck.
He's in the parking deck now.
He's going into the first entrance. He's waiting for a ticket that's not coming. And he's having to back up. This is very interesting. He is trapped, and he knows that. I'm going to...
At any moment, he could have gotten out of his car. That was the scariest part for me, for her. That was the point where I felt that she was in the most danger.
Well, the gate at the parking deck is not opening for the subject. He's trying to back out now, and she's behind him.
I'm staying right with him to the side. He knows
Appears to
the
be
spot.
caught right now.
Okay, he's now coming. He's going to try the next parking deck here. That's obvious. He's turning into the patient visitor parking.
What side of the parking deck are you on?
I'm on the north, what is it, the west side? The side that the Slaw building is on, and he's just gone
He's
into
on
it.
the side
He's
of the
lost
Slaw
me.
building.
I can't go in after him. He's in the parking
Can
deck.
you see the officer behind you? Okay.
I do.
Point the officer to the direction of where he's at.
I'm not sure what his purpose was. That's what concerns me. Was he trying to pull me over, and then what would he have done?
You acted properly.
Okay.
The first help to arrive was Chapel Hill police officer Robert Carton.
I got into the garage and started searching for the red Mustang. I just didn't know which way he went. There's a couple of ways you can go, and I started just going around and around and around. I sort of thought that maybe he'd went through the parking deck and went out one of the other exits.
What color hair did he have?
He's a blonde.
Blonde-headed?
Yeah.
Did he have a beard or mustache or anything?
I didn't pay that close attention because I was following him back most of the way.
10. He's blonde-headed, and he possibly had on a striped shirt, something like an Izod shirt, possibly. Well, make sure she stands by. I'm going through the garage now.
I did not see a red Ford Mustang, but I saw a white male with blonde hair walking. Something just told me to see if this is the guy, so I sort of gunned my engine a little bit. People who normally are innocent will step over to the side. People who have done something normally start doing what I call the penguin walk, trying to get away without running.
Sir, were you driving a red Ford Mustang? No.
I said, what are you doing up here then? He said, I'm out here taking a walk.
If you're taking a walk,
And I said, well, why do you have a Ford key in your hand? And in his hand, he had a set of Ford keys. And I said, are you driving a red Ford Mustang? He said, yes.
stand back.
He let me search the car. I found the badge in the console, and what he asked me was, am I going to be in trouble? Sort of sounded strange, and I said, well, I believe so. I don't think I ever got a truthful answer out of him where he in fact got the badge, and I never could get out of him what his intentions were to stop the lady.
The suspect was subsequently convicted of impersonating an officer.
It was not until afterwards that I thought of the reasons as to why this man was trying to pull me over. I was not concerned at the time that this was all happening, that I was going to be robbed or raped or assaulted. I became really suspicious when I realized that it was a little bit silly for an off-duty police officer to worry about a woman speeding 42 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone.
The good judgment and courage under pressure that Lynn Feist displayed during this incident particularly impressed her family.
I mean, Mom thought pretty fast to pick up the phone and check if this guy was real. I'm proud that she was able to take a situation in her own hands and take control of it. I'm proud that she caught this guy.
He undermined what we value and trust. We never have thought, I think, anywhere, that if we stopped for a police officer, he might not be real.
I think the best thing that has come out of all of this is that a lot of people have learned from it. I learned to be a little more cautious and to think ahead.
Here in North Carolina, state law says that to stop a vehicle, you must activate not just a blue light, but also a siren. If you do not believe who we are, we would much rather you go to an occupied location and let us follow you there and you feel safe. It's a scary thing to be stopped by any police officer anyway. But one who, in fact, wants to get up to your car window, you realize it's not a police officer. And it's got to put a chill down your spine.
Next.
I just have to pray that, when he goes out in the morning, he'll come back at night and he'll be fine.
10 years ago, you didn't worry about the impact of the environment on your skin. Now you're more sensitive. Now there's new essentials. Skin care and color care that are the new basics for today's sensitive skin needs. Hypoallergenic, 100% fragrance-free. New essentials. Now that you know better. The 5-piece New Essentials gift is your bonus with any $12.50 New Essentials purchase, exclusively at JCPenney.
Freedom. It's the spirit which moves the Cutlass Supreme, a car intelligently engineered to free your eyes, your hands, your senses. Introducing the new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. The look may change, but the spirit remains the same. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Have you ever dreamed you could fly? Now, for the first time ever, David Copperfield conquers the mystery of human flight without the use of wings, strings, or camera tricks. Then get ready to touch your television screen as you make the magic happen right in your own home. Indulge yourself in an astounding world of mystery and illusion. A place where no one else but the world's greatest illusionist can take you. With special guest star James Earl Jones, it's an all-new The Magic of David Copperfield. Flying with the Dream next Tuesday.
A contagious killer has flown into New York City.
What's happening to me?
Now it threatens every man, woman, and child. Kate Jackson, Quiet Killer, next.
And now it's Sweet 16. Thursday night, all the power, all the passion, all the madness continues. It's the round of 16 featuring defending national champion Duke. March Madness, primetime Thursday on CBS.
In horse racing, the stakes are so high, you often have to dare to risk it all, to dare to be great. On May 30th, 1988, 9 races were scheduled at Belmont Park Raceway in New York, featuring top jockeys from around the country.
Anybody who's involved with horses knows it can be a dangerous endeavor.
Jockeys' bodies are exposed to all sorts of injuries. We're dealing with an animal running at 35 miles an hour. Broken bones are commonplace here.
One of the jockeys riding that day was 24-year-old Richard Migliore.
Richie's nickname when he rides is Hard Rider because he's so gritty and tries so hard all the time.
I just have to pray every day that, when he goes out in the morning, he'll come back at night and he'll be fine.
Well, Richie looks like she's got a good chance in here.
In the first race, Richard was to ride number 7, Madame Aladar, whose trainer was Winky Cox.
Madame Aladar was ready to win. Condition-wise, she was good. She looked good. I think her temperament in the paddock was good. And we really expected a big race from her. Good. Richie and I discussed the racing that day, and Richie knew the filly because he'd been on her. When they called for the riders to get up, I gave Richie a leg up and patted him on the boot and said good luck.
23 and 3.
The head EMT on duty was Morty Rosen.
Watching races through the binoculars is watching a group of horses. You never focus in on any one horse, because at any point there could be a spill.
As they round the far turns, the 47 left, River of Team continues to lead.
Three jockeys were down. Morty was the first EMT on the scene.
You okay, Chris? I got to Chris Anthony lying on his back, his eyes open, but his eyes were rolled back in his head.
Go see Richie, he's hurt bad. I said, don't bother with me, don't bother me. I'm fine, get Richie and get Chris.
Richie, get me the collar, get me sandbags and longboard. Richard? Looking at Richard, he was unresponsive to me. He was totally unconscious.
Richard's wife, Carmela, got a call from the track.
There was a man's voice, and he said, you know, there's just been an accident. Richie's gone down in a spill. It looks bad. And I just flew out of the house.
Wheels up. I got him. I got him.
Along with another less seriously injured jockey, Richard was packaged for transport to the hospital 10 miles away.
Of course, my first fear, any jockey's wife's first fear, is paralyzation. And I remember feeling, this can't be happening to Richard. Racing is all that he had done since he was 15 years old, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Carmela caught up with the ambulance en route to the hospital.
Rich, I see a red car behind us. It looks like Carmela. Richard was coming in and out of consciousness. Richard couldn't remember what colored car he owned or whether he was married. Your wife, Carmela?
Within 10 minutes, they arrived at the hospital.
When I saw Richard hurt and crumpled almost, I was devastated.
Rich, my name is George. I'm going to be taking care of you. Did you lose contact?
At Long Island Jewish Hospital, Richard was examined by physician's assistant, George Berry.
Who you are?
Yes.
Tell me your name.
Richard.
Do you know what day of the week this is?
Mr. Migliori had sustained facial injuries. He was complaining of neck pain, right arm pain. And the concerning thing was he was complaining that he was having numbness and tingling in his lower extremities below his waistline, which would correlate to possibly a significant neck injury.
I remember distinctly thinking, you know, this could be the end of life as we know it to this point, as far as riding, as far as having children, as far as having a life together that we had dreamed of. The more he complained about the pain, the more fearful I got. We finally did get him into X-ray, and that's sort of when everything started really turning downhill.
Dr. Weber, we just had a 24-year-old gentleman jockey taken in from Belmont to...
Richard's neck was broken. Dr. Arthur Weber, a specialist in spinal injuries, was called in to take over his care.
It looked like the bone was extending into the spinal cord, and Richard's injury was such that he was millimeters away from becoming a quadriplegic.
Dr. Weber told me he may never walk again, That, to me, it was almost like I heard a boom in my head. It was so frightening to hear those words.
Mrs. Migliore, do I have your consent to go ahead? I could in no way guarantee them that the surgery would be successful. In fact, I'm required to tell them that the operation could make everything worse.
The delicate surgery took 3 hours.
I was sitting in the operation, waiting area, and I saw him walk out the doors, and I sort of ran up to him, and he had a big smile on his face, and he said, I remember his exact words were, I know what it's like for you guys to win the Kentucky Derby, because, we just won the Kentucky Derby where Richie's concerned.
Start with his right leg.
I was so elated after that. I felt like everything was going to be okay then. But of course, that was only half the battle.
Is it okay there?
It was more traumatic to me mentally, even though I had a lot of physical discomfort. Mentally, it hurt me a lot more. I went from being this fit athlete, this person that makes his living with his body, and now I can't lift 5 pounds.
Start with your right leg. Right leg. Use your arms to help with the left. That's it. Move your arms forward one at a time.
Doctors told Richard that if he was to ride or even walk again, he faced at least a year of grueling rehabilitation.
Okay. Let's stop for a second. Tell me if it gets better. Do you take a few deep breaths?
I just felt like I could do it quicker.
Good.
And once they had told me that I would be able to ride horses again, if that's what I chose to do, there was never any doubt in my mind that's what I wanted to do.
Right up. Okay.
On Thanksgiving Day of 1988, just 6 months after his accident, Richard Migliore beat the odds and returned to racing.
The fact that here I was back, I was doing it. All the doubts were washed away, all the feelings like that I might not ever make it when you're going through the pain. And now here you are on this horse, and you're 5 lengths in front, and you're back. It's you. It's what you always wanted to do, and it wasn't taken away from me.
Richard Migliore aboard is Glimmer Glenn in front.
I remember crying. I remember feeling so happy and so proud of Richard. He had pulled it all off, and that he had made it.
I think the EMTs did a fantastic job, and everybody in the hospital that took care of me on the floor, and especially Dr. Weber. I'll always feel very special affection to Dr. Weber because I feel like he put me back together. But without Carmela, I can honestly say I don't think I would have made it back. My wife is an incredible person, and she's my best friend.
I think most people, wouldn't have made it back. But then again, most people aren't jockeys. They're a very rare breed.
Next.
I had a strange gut feeling that something was wrong on this one. That I was going to see something I was not going to like.
Come on, you guys, break it.
There's one moisturizing lotion that promises you soft, supple skin and something else as well. A healthy, natural-looking copper tone tan without the sun. Introducing Copper Tone Sunless Tanning Extra Moisturizing Lotion with vitamin E and aloe for a tan that feels as good as it looks.
Why is it, Lou? You come in here every morning and order a large orange juice.
I like orange juice.
Isn't there another reason?
I kind of like the company.
100% pure Florida quality orange juice. It makes you feel so good.
Give me 3 soaps, give me 3 soaps, Spirit. Give me 3 soaps, all in one.
Spirit's a new kind of soap. It works like a cleansing bar, deodorant bar, moisturizing bar, all in one. Spirit, it's like 3 soaps in one.
Now for the Cyanate Society, here's Michael Learned.
Because I have sinus problems just like you, I want you to know about new maximum strength cyanide gel caps, the most potent pain and pressure reliever in cyanide history, combined with state-of-the-art gel cap technology. Powerful sinus relief in new, easy-to-swallow gel caps. Call the Cyanide Society at 1-800-2-CYANIDE for a $1 off coupon. Get the potency of cyanide in a patented gel cap. It really works for me, and I hurt just like you.
Dwight Davis has a problem. His kids have a problem. His sister has a problem, too. This is Gunny Davis. He's the problem. From the creators of The Cosby Show and Roseanne.
Where was I before I was born?
Randy Quaid.
What are you, 45 or 46?
Close, I'm 37.
You look old.
And Jonathan Winters.
Come on down to the basement. Andrew is ready for his braid.
Davis Rules Wednesday at 8 on CBS. Have you ever dreamed you could fly? Now, for the first time ever, David Copperfield conquers the mystery of human flight without the use of wings, strings, or camera tricks. Then get ready to touch your television screen as you make the magic happen right in your own home. Indulge yourself in an astounding world of mystery and illusion. A place where no one else but the world's greatest illusionist can take you. With special guest star James Earl Jones, it's an all-new The Magic of David Copperfield. Flying, live the dream next Tuesday.
Finally, a perspective on how it really feels to do cocaine. From the inside.
In the pre-dawn hours of January 3rd, 1991, in Maple Valley, Washington, 19-year-old Vicki White Eagle was getting ready to leave for her job as a nurse's aide. Her shift began at 6 a.m., before her parents even got out of bed.
Bye.
Greg Clementson traveled the same road as Vicki on his way to work.
The news had said there was a possibility in rural areas like I live that there would be ice, black ice that you can't see. It's not well lit, so I knew that I had to be extra careful on this road and on my journey to work. When I pulled around the corner, I noticed that there was a car in the ditch. I first thought that maybe this accident happened the night before. It's a dark road. I could see the victim, but not real clearly.
You get in an accident, I'm here to help you. Can you hear me? Help me! Please help me!
The door panel had been jammed, and she sounded extremely scared.
I call 911. King County, please.
Yeah, I want to report a accident. A lady ran off the road, hit a tree. Car is very damaged. The lady is very shaken up. We don't know if she is hurt.
At 5:49 a.m., Greg's call came into the Valley Communication Center.
Maple Valley Community Center.
Was she just standing out beside the car?
No, she was in the car, very shaken up. She was asking for help.
All right, we'll send someone out. Thank you.
Thank you.
s03e21, engine 81, injury accident, 23100 Woody Road, South.
Units with King County Fire District 43 were immediately dispatched to the scene. A call also went out to the volunteer members of the squad, including Vicky's mother, Virginia.
It was just a feeling I had that it might be her. And the address that was given, time-wise, would put it approximately where Vicky might be. And so it was something I couldn't just sit there and wonder and wait. I had to go. Normally, the adrenaline gets going, but in this case, it was a little bit different. I was shaking already, just kind of wondering, could this one be one of my own?
Among the first rescuers to arrive were firefighters Dave Stasiak and Bob Benedetti.
The car just looked lifeless. You couldn't really make out anybody inside. I had a strange gut feeling that something was wrong on this one. I was going to see something I was not going to like. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Bob, can you get us a climb on?
We did not know how deep that stick was. We were judging anywhere from an inch to almost all the way through her neck. This is what was scary.
Hurry up, Bob. Does she hear you in all days? I can't tell.
I didn't recognize who it was, but we knew that the wrong move would probably kill her in an instant.
Come on, you guys, break it.
She was only able to talk in one-word spurts, but it was clear, which gave me the confidence that she had an intact airway. She said her name was Vicky White Eagle, and I knew right then that I needed to talk to our captain.
Fire 1, engine 81, dispatch a medic unit, please.
Hey, that's Virginia's daughter, Virginia White Eagle.
Vicky?
Yeah.
Engine 83, medic 5 with engine 81 on location, injury accident.
Medic 5 responding.
Medic 5 responding, 0600.
When we continue,
she looks directly up at me, and all I saw were these very, very round eyes staring back at me, saying, "My God, I'm going to die."
Mister, I'm taking you in.
Marshal, isn't the fella entitled to a last meal?
Folks everywhere are headed to McDonald's for the return of the Wild West, because for a limited time you can rustle up the two-fisted taste of a sassy McRib, or breakfast up on ham, green peppers, and cheese and a tempting Western omelet McMuffin.
Ma'am, that was mighty tasty. I'll need an order to go.
Yes, sir.
Is what you get at McDonald's today.
Don't you know it's not polite to talk with your mouth full?
Only a special person can wear this jacket. It only fits people who have a special spirit of determination. People who help families buy or sell a house every minute of every day. People who are the world's #1 real estate sales organization. Now you know why the jacket is colored gold. Century 21. Just tell us what you want. It's as good as done.
Rescue 911 will continue.
It's tax time. Tax law changes, hidden deductions, audits. Got any questions? All this week, get some money-saving answers in a special series on the CBS Evening News.
Warning, when the Davis family goes out to party, some language may make you blush.
Itsy bitsy spider.
And all new Davis rules. Then, remember your very first job?
25 cents an hour. You screw up, and I'm calling your parents.
Come on, the hokey pokey.
Brooklyn Bridge, Wednesday.
This is CBS.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. I dream I move. I dream I groove.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
Babies don't always come when they're supposed to, and my husband is constantly on the go at work, so I got a beeper from Interlink. And when the time came, we were ready. Life is better with a beeper.
Save time. Save money. Get a beeper.
Beeper service now only $7.50 per month at Interlink. Call 232-BEEP.
Without my beeper from Interlink, I would have missed this job. Miss Johnson's house would have been flooded. This is not the type of water you want in your house. Life is better with the beeper.
Night Court is now in session. 4 o'clock weekdays on TV 10.
As rescuers work to free 19-year-old Vicki White Eagle from the wreckage of her car, Fire Captain Lee Adelsman, a close friend of her family, was growing increasingly concerned about how to get her out without disturbing the peace of a wooden fence that was lodged in her neck.
She was very scared.
Okay, Vic, I'm here to help you, okay?
She kind of set up a comfort zone around the stick to keep anybody from touching that stick and moving the stick.
It was really tough for us because the first thing we wanted to do was cut her out of there and get her going on the medic unit, but we didn't want to jostle her in any way. The whole thing hit me like a ton of bricks. I went to school with her. We were in the marching band together. She was just a really good friend.
We're okay, Vicki. We're helping you out. You okay, Steve?
When Vicki's parents, Virginia, and her husband, Ted, a former firefighter, arrived, they still did not know who was trapped in the car. Virginia went down to see if it was their daughter.
I don't really know why I didn't go down. Maybe it was because it might be her.
Guys, be careful. I don't want this changing in the land.
881 advising we're seeing one patient, 25-year-old female. She has a stick lodged in her trachea. BP is 126/80. Pulse rate is 80. We're unable to get a respiratory rate.
Got it right now. Here we go.
I didn't wait. I just kept going. I had no idea, no vision of what I was going to see when I walked up there. Lee Adelsman started walking towards me. And when you see somebody you know like that walking towards you, you kind of know.
I knew then it was Vicki, but I knew that she was in good hands because I trained a lot of those people.
If you know fire departments, everybody's pretty much a family in them. And to see somebody in that family in distress, you do exactly what you're trained to do, but you can feel the concern. And I have never seen that many people work as one person in all my life.
Her vitals were good. That's what really kept us going. But it's up to the person to have the will to go on, to live.
King County Medic 1 arrived, and paramedics Ed Plumley and Tony Scoccolo immediately took over Vicki's care.
I need somebody to give me the Doppler. I'd like to Doppler her carotids before we move her out of here.
I realized this was not going to be an easy extrication.
We thought initially we might be able to cut the stick, but any movement at all of the stick potentially could make her paralyzed.
We don't know if that object is up against maybe the carotid artery and it's actually preventing the patient from bleeding to death.
So we were left with trying to tape it in position and trying to make it so it wouldn't move around much on the way into the hospital.
Somebody else is going to have to get in position.
I'll get it once this goes coming this way, I got it.
Okay. Backboard coming in. Can you drop that?
We treated her like porcelain, transported her onto the gurney, and she looks directly up at me, and all I saw were these very, very round eyes staring back at me, saying, "My God, I'm going to die."
Less than 45 minutes after the first rescue workers arrived, Vicki was pulled free of the wreckage. She was carefully packaged and paralyzed with drugs for the 10-mile transport to Valley Medical Center. Doctors Greg Luna and Stephen Risa performed the delicate surgery.
Our main concern at that time was if the object is removed without having good control of it in the operating room, there can be massive bleeding that you're unable to stop. It was about a centimeter away from the carotid artery or internal jugular vein, and it had just gone to the side of the trachea and esophagus and actually hit the bony spinal column rather than the cord itself, which carries the nerves. I think the stake went into probably one of the few places it could have gone without damaging at least one vital structure. The entire case itself is really a miracle in that the medics were able to get her out of the car and not dislodge the stake. That she had no significant injuries afterwards and actually recovered very well.
Everything went just fine.
I believe that everybody that was on the scene of my accident helping me out are all heroes to me.
The funny thing about it is Vicki has been our crash dummy for our drills. She's usually our patient that's stuck inside the car, and we cut her out and we save her.
Get it, get it, get it! All right. There it is.
I had to push myself. I had to push my body. I had to hold on to that stick. I had to stabilize it. I had to cooperate. And I believe that I was well trained for that.
She didn't panic. She knew just what to do. Otherwise, I think anybody else would have tried pulling the stick out, not knowing, what type of damage they may have done.
I'm very thankful that Greg stopped, pulled over, and to find out if I was okay. A lot of it depended on him, on what he did, because nobody else stopped by but him.
She's a very lucky girl. I think the thing to know and to learn from a situation like this is don't move a trauma patient unless it's absolutely necessary.
Good. All right. All right.
Well, thanks for being there.
You're welcome.
I'm so thankful that I'm alive, that it's no reason to get mad if someone laughs at me or points at me and says I have a hickey. It's like, hey, it's just a scar. And I lived through it.
Next.
I always thought of the backyard as being a really safe place. I didn't think that there was such a danger in my backyard.
That's a pretty good imitation. A moment, a conversation. It shouldn't feel any different when you're talking long distance. We think you should be able to call anyone, anywhere, anytime, and still save money. That's why we invented the new AT&T Any Hour Saver Plan. We don't think you should have to make lists or watch clocks. $10 for an hour of calls anytime. Then bonus prices of just 11 cents a minute after 5 and on weekends. Because how you talk is your business. Making it more affordable is ours.
For 90 years, JCPenney has brought you some of the lowest prices on things you wanted most. And now, history repeats itself with special 90th anniversary prices on the JCPenney bath towel, Towncraft shirts, girls' T-shirts, and Alicia pantyhose at a price you haven't seen since the 40s. The JCPenney anniversary sale. Prices that make history. Then and now.
What is Vibrance? Vibrance is your hair full of life. Vibrance is new shampoos and new conditioners. Vibrance infuses each strand with a healthier life. With deeper shine, livelier color, and a fullness you never had before. When your hair's this full of life, it's new Vibrance.
The name of this class is the human factor. It's about the emotional part of the doctor-patient relationship.
I need you to take a stand here. I'm scared.
Human doctors.
Is she one of my patients?
No, my father. Human patients.
His heart just stopped.
I think it's the most important part of your medical education.
What they can't find in their books, they'll find in their hearts. The Human Factor, coming Thursday, April 16th.
3 dangerous women from Jake's past.
I never mix business with pleasure.
Which one wants him and his lover dead?
Surprise.
A new Jake and the Fat Man. Then, 4 girls murdered in cold blood. A town's nightmare, a cop's obsession.
Unlock the door!
Who killed these girls? 48 hours after Jake and the Fat Man, Wednesday.
And now it's Sweet 16. March Madness continues with the round of 16 featuring defending national champion Duke. Primetime Thursday on CBS.
This is a Campaign 92 special report. The angry outsider message of Jerry Brown scores with Democratic voters in Connecticut. CBS News projects Brown will beat Bill Clinton in the primary tonight, not by much, but enough to put a crimp in Clinton's drive for an early lock on the nomination. President Bush won Connecticut's Republican primary, but nearly a third voted against him. More on your late local news. I'm Connie Chung in New York.
Like most kids, Eric Hagelman and his 3-year-old sister Anna loved Halloween. On the afternoon of October 31st, 1991, Eric and his sister were playing in the backyard of their home in Atlanta, Georgia, before changing into their costumes to go trick-or-treating.
I didn't think that there was such a danger in my backyard. I always thought of the backyard as being a really safe place.
I went over to tell her to stop because I thought maybe she would fall because there were loose branches. Anna, come down! Anna, come down! So I climbed up after to tell her to stop.
Their mother, Lee Hagelman, was just inside the house.
I was looking through my mail when I heard Anna crying. I looked outside. Eric was in a clearing about halfway up the tree. I looked up and Anna was at the top of the tree. It was the scariest moment of my life.
Yes, my 3-year-old is up about 50 feet off the ground in a tree.
What's that, ma'am?
My 3-year-old little girl is about 50 feet up in a tree.
Okay, ma'am, we get someone out there.
Truck 21 responding 2853. Field Drive, northeast Crawford over Decatur Road. Child trapped in a tree at that location.
I could hear my baby crying up there, and I didn't know how she was holding on. I didn't know how long she could hold on. I just kept saying, hold on, hold on. I'll get you down. You'll be okay. I told my son to carefully come down. I wanted him to go out and watch for the fire truck. It was so high up there, and she's so tiny. Other people might have been able to be more calm than me. But 7 years ago, I lost my only brother from a fall that would not have even been that high. And he fell and died instantly. And I just knew if she fell, that she wouldn't make it. And I just knew I couldn't survive it.
When police officer Fred Mills arrived, 7-year-old Eric was there to meet him.
I said, well, do you know if anybody at this house called 911? And he said, yeah, I think my mom did. And I said, well, do you know why? And he says, yeah, it's about my little sister.
Yes, ma'am.
She was real hysterical, and she was crying, and she pointed behind her and said her little daughter was stuck up in the tree. And I tried to calm her down and let her know that she had to come down for a little girl's sake. So the little girl didn't get too afraid because it could make the situation worse.
And just immediately, he said it so calmly, but it was as if he had slapped my face. And I was able to start talking to her.
Yeah, see if you can get an ETA from the fire department.
The first thing I thought was, my God, look at that little girl way at the top of that tree. And again, the tree was shaking.
It's about 40, 45 feet up in the air.
You're just like Joan. You're just
I
like
thought of a story. It's one of her favorite stories, and it's about a cat named Joan. One of the things that Joan does is climb up into a tree, and she gets stuck. So I said, Anna, you're like Joan. You're up in the tree, and a fireman is going to come and rescue you.
I just hope they get here real quick before I have to go up that tree, because the tree was so thin. As big as I am, I'd have pulled half the tree down.
Within 4 minutes, Atlanta firefighters got to the scene, led by Lieutenant Dennis Ham.
I almost didn't believe it was a 3-year-old because I didn't see how a 3-year-old child could actually climb a tree. But seeing that silhouette of a child up there, your adrenaline starts to flow.
Bob McCoy and his partner discussed their options with the lieutenant.
We couldn't reach her with our aerial truck. It was too far away from the road. There were wires hanging over the driveway. We couldn't back it in there. And we also could not use ground ladders. It would just been too unstable. We really had no other choice. What we had to do was send somebody up. And that's when Firefighter McCoy just said, well, I'll go on up and get her.
I decided because I was the shortest. Everybody else is over 6 foot, 200 pounds. You know, I'm just a short fella. Don't weigh a whole lot. The branches are so close together that it's thick you can't see above where you're going. It's just a matter of just keep going until you find her. The higher I got, the thinner they got. But I kind of grasping each time, you know, holding on a little tighter the further up I went. Now I'm just waiting for this to pop, and we're both going to go to the ground. And when I got to the top, she's just hanging on to the tree. I told her that, you know, we were going to get her down. She said, well, I'm stuck. I looked up there, and her shoes stuck between the 2 branches, and her foot's dangling out with the shoestrings tied around her leg.
Hold on.
So I reached up there and tried to untie them. Of course, it was in a knot, so I knew I needed scissors or a knife.
I need a knife to cut the laces.
The police officer said that he had a pocket knife, but we figured that the tree probably couldn't hold my weight and his weight and the child's weight. So that's when the boy came in.
I'll take it.
The other fireman said, you know, that probably really would be the best thing. Because he's so little and he's climbed up there before.
Careful, Eric. I put it in my pocket, and then I started climbing up as fast as I could. That didn't take me but a couple of seconds.
He really didn't get that much farther than my reach and the length of his body. Firefighter McCoy came down far enough that we pretty much formed a line.
After I cut the shoelace, Ann turned around and told me, she said, I can get down now. But I can't let her go down this tree by herself. Her mom will shoot me when I get down there. Come on, easy does it. I said, you come down to where I'm at, put your arms around you and my neck, and we'll go down this tree together. And so we did.
Every rustle of every leaf sent, you know, chills through me. And I remember seeing them in the clearing finally. I didn't relax until they put her in my arms. And then I just broke down at that point. People don't understand how quickly these men will risk their lives. He is a hero in my book. He saved her life, because I don't know how long she could have hung on.
I don't look at myself as a hero. Had it been my child in the tree, I would have wanted somebody to go up there. I'm just glad that Ann is safe.
The fireman said, you know, ma'am, we usually only get cats down from that high. And I said, well, you know, she has been planning to be a black cat for Halloween.
Don't you guys look so cute?
They were fine. They were so excited, and I was just so happy to have her back. You know, I just had my little angel back. There are no simple lessons for parents, except never underestimate your children. Never underestimate their lack of fear, because they don't have it. They do not have it.
Joan wants to climb a tree.
Look, you can't ever tell somebody that you love them too much. You just have to do it all the time, and you have to show it. Because in a flash, in one tiny moment, your whole entire life can be changed forever.
Ragu introduces Chicken Tonight simmer sauces, and suddenly everybody's saying,
I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight, chicken tonight.
Choose from 6 new sauces. Each one's made with real vegetables and herbs, so you can make dishes like country French chicken and chicken cacciatore. Just brown the chicken, simmer, and serve.
I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight.
New Chicken Tonight simmer sauces from Ragu.
Chicken tonight.
For 3 days only, every gallon of paint and every roll of wallpaper is on sale at Sears. Save 10 to 33% on every gallon of paint. And 33% on every wallpaper pattern in stock. But hurry, sale ends Saturday at Sears.
You guys have to eat some breakfast before you go.
I like it anyway. I don't think it's your color. It is my color.
Give your family all the nutrition of a complete meal with Carnation Instant Breakfast. Because life doesn't stop for breakfast.
A mother and her child face their worst nightmare.
Long time no see.
The man, she, sent to prison.
I haven't told you the truth about your father.
Now, he's back for revenge.
That kid is mine. You told me that he raped you, but you never told me you dated him.
To turn her friends against her.
He's gotten to you too, hasn't he?
But has he come back?
You almost killed our tea.
It's nothing personal.
To kill her.
Death and sex have a lot in common. They both take you.
Lonnie Anderson, The Price She Paid, next Tuesday. He's looking for excitement.
What is this town really all about?
She's looking for romance.
With him, I'm beautiful, funny, sexy.
They both feel the passion.
I want you to be a part of my life.
I've fallen in love with a stranger.
There's always hell to pay afterwards. Will he change her life forever?
This feels so right. How can it be wrong?
Or is there a secret from his past?
Rosie, look at me.
All I see is something I can't have.
Rosie's back, and she's in love. Starting Saturday, April 11th.
We all depend on the quick thinking and bravery of professional rescuers to help us when we're most in need. This series is dedicated to the real heroes who risk their lives to save the life of a stranger. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
In 1983, he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. In '86, he walked through the Great Wall of China. And next week, David Copperfield will again do the impossible. The magic of David Copperfield 14 in 1 week. And now, an electrifying world premiere movie, as only one courageous doctor has the knowledge to take on an epidemic urban killer. Kate Jackson, Howard Hessman, and Jerry Orbach star in Quiet Killer, next on CBS. To purchase a video cassette of this program, call